Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Teachers Wisdom. Arvinder kaur this side, assistant professor. So today in this video we will discuss about the topic professional ethics and code of conduct of teacher counselor. As a counselor, we should understand the meaning of ethics and code of conduct. So ethic means distinguishing between good or bad, means according to your values you will be able to differentiate, or you will able to judge what is good for you and what is bad for you. Moral principles that governs person behavior. Ethical principles, basically they are normative in nature and they focus on principles that basically governs a relationship between counselor and the client. So here we are talking that there must be some principles which help the counselor as well as client to build up some relationship. Then beliefs about what is morally correct or acceptable, that on the basis of principles we judge that what is correct for me and what is acceptable for me. That is my belief. Ethics are a branch of philosophy dealing with the values relating to human conduct with respect to rightness and wrongness of certain action and to the goodness and badness of the motives of end of such action. So basically ethic is a scientific study of morals which deals with basic principles that guide human conduct. So it is a study of the principles relating to right and wrong conduct. First definition: ethic involves making decision of a moral nature about people and their interaction in the society. Then second definition: ethics are generally defined as a philosophical discipline that is concerned with the human conduct and moral decision making. So next is ethical principles of counseling, code of ethics and values of counseling. First is being trustworthy. There must be trustful relationship between the client and the counselor. Being trustworthy is regarded as fundamental to understand and resolving ethical issues. You must be confidential about the information which is given by the client. Next is patience. The counselor need to be patient with the client as the process of discussion or while giving the sessions to the client. He must be patient. It may take time that client will accept the situation, or client will take some time to accept certain things and move toward positive changes. So sometimes client take time to be get positive from the negative thinking. So you have to be patient. It can take 2 to 3 sessions also. So as a counselor you have to be patient. Then next, commitment. The counselor must be committed to partaking in activities for her continuous and professional development. Counselor must be committed towards his profession. Genuineness is the ability of the counselor to be freely themselves, like non-defensiveness, non-role playing. So being genuine means that counselor is spontaneous, consistent and comfortable with the client. Then next is confidentiality. The counselor respects the client's right to privacy and confidentiality. Any disclosure would be within the legal framework and ethics of counseling. But there are some cases where confidentiality cannot be maintained when counselee may pose a threat to himself or others, or he is involved in some crime also. So the client must be confidential according to the situation. Then next is beneficence. Beneficence is related with your benefits which you will give to your client. Basically, it is a commitment to promoting the client's well-being. The principle of beneficence means acting in the best interest of the client based on professional assessment. So you can take it like this also, that here counselor will ensure that the client best interests are achieved, require systematic monitoring of practice and outcomes by the best available means. Then fairness. The client is treated fairly with the utmost integrity in the therapeutic relationship. Every client is different due to individual difference. Every client is different from each other. So every client is different from another client on the basis of their personality characteristics. So it is important that counselor must be fair. He should not apply the same solution which is given by the client to the which is given by the counselor to the previous client. So every individual situations are different, every individual's environment is different, every individual's personality is different. So solution must be given according to the client's personality. Then next is warmth. Warmth is the ability to communicate and demonstrate genuine caring and concern for clients. You can communicate through non-verbal behaviors like smile, tone of voice, your facial expression. So basically, if we say warmth indicate acceptance and caring for the client. Then next is justice. Justice is related with honesty and fairness, as we already discussed in the fairness point. Yes, it is related with honesty and fairness in the treatment of each client, and it is basically related with respecting the human right and dignity without any discrimination. There must be no discrimination on the basis of your age, your sex, caste, creed, your color. So there must be no discrimination. Next is professional responsibility. Yes, here we will use different techniques, modalities or procedure that have scientific foundation. So counselor practice only within the boundaries of their competence. So the tool he will use must be standardized, must be with reliability and validity, which will give you the authentic result which will be beneficial for the client. Then next is honesty. Practitioner takes steps to manage personal stress, and he must be honest and accurate about the effective services. He will be giving their 100% for giving their services to the client. Then next is autonomy. Autonomy means when you are giving freedom or you are developing the independent thinking in any person. So the counselor, as ethical responsibility, encourage the client's independent thinking and decision making. So he will develop ability of self-directing in the client. Next is non-malfeasance. Non-malfeasance means doing no harm to the client. It involves avoiding sexual, financial and emotional or any other form of client exploitation. So we will avoid the situation which can cause a conflict. Then next is unconditional positive regard. It is an expression of caring and nurtureness as well as acceptance. When you are unconditionally, you are giving your caringness, your positiveness, your regardness to the client. Counselor should treat client as a person with inherent worth and dignity regardless of client's behavior and appearance. So there must be no condition between client and counselor relationship. That must be unconditional. Then next is competence. Competence means your potential, your ability of doing anything. So definitely when it is related with your counselor, so competence must be established through training, experiences or supervised practice. He can maintain high standard in their work. Then next is respectfulness. Respect means believing and expecting that the client can do what is needful to make their life work. The counselor is respectful of the client's ability to do well, to make and implement wise decisions concerning their own life. Professional ethics and code of conduct of teacher counselor. It contains 4 basic principles relating to the rights of students and educators. We'll discuss one by one what are these 4 principles. First is ethical conduct toward your students. Yes, the professional educator accepts personal responsibility for teaching student character qualities that will help them evaluate the consequences of and accept the responsibility for their action and choices. So first is deal and justify with each student and resolve the problem. As we already discussed that every individual is different from other, so it is very important that we must deal and we must be justified with each and every student's problem. Make a constructive effort to protect the student from conditions detrimental to learning, health or safety. So professional educator here will construct or give effort to protect the student from the different situations. Not reveal confidential information, as we are discussing again and again that all the information which is given by the client must be confidential, must not be revealed with their colleagues or with anyone. Then second principle is ethical conduct toward practices and performances. Here the professional educator assumes some responsibility and accountability for his or her performances, and continuously he will strive to demonstrate their competence. So now we will discuss this point more elaboratively. First is must be assigned position on the basis of professional qualification. He must be assigned some responsibilities. He must accept their responsibilities on the basis of their professional qualification, and he can also adhere to the terms of a contract or some appointment. Maintain sound health, physical stamina and social prudence, which means that it is necessary to perform the duties of any profession. You have to maintain your health, your stamina. Continuous professional growth is very important. It is very important that client must attend seminars, attend workshops or do certificate courses which is related with the counseling. Follow all the rules, regulation of the school, complies with written local school policies and applicable laws and regulation. So it is very important that avoiding the conflicts, we must follow all the rules and regulation of the school. Next is third principle, ethical conduct toward professional colleague. The professional educator is exemplifying ethical relation with colleague, accords just and equitable treatment to all members of the profession. So not revealing confidential information concerning colleague. Yes, you will not reveal any type of information of your client with your colleagues. Then not make false statement. False statement can create or develop misunderstanding. not support action which violate individual professional integrity, does not interfere with the colleague freedom of choice, and work to eliminate that force, educator support actions and ideology that violate individual professional integrity. So no need to support any type of action which is related with violation. First principle is ethical conduct towards parents and community. Communicate important information to parent. You must communicate with the parents of the client, so that they will also aware about the client's problem, or they will also aware about the interest of the student. Then understand and respect the value and tradition of diverse culture to represent in community and in his or her classroom. Play important and active role in the school community to build up the relationship. It is very important that you have to play important and active role.